Hey, Travel Brats! It's Travel Brat Tuesday.
I'm Soph.
And I'm Nat.
And today, guys, we are just wanting to give you a quick life update. We have been very, very busy and kind of been all over the place.
It's true.
Yeah.
And I'm sure all of you have been busy too. Spring has sprung. We are seeing beautiful flowers everywhere. Of course, we live in the South, and especially those of us that are in Southwest Florida, It's summer all the time. But we just wanted to give you guys a little update on what we've been up to, what we've got going on, both in our personal lives and also in regards to Travel Brats.
Yes.
So actually, Sofia, you experienced something pretty crazy in my life. You were witness to it, I should say.
Yes.
That happened this last weekend. So for those of you that have been listening since I joined the team, you know that I'm a professional actress and that I perform a lot down here in Southwest Florida. And I started a show, it was almost a 10-week contract, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Some shows only last a couple weeks. This one was a nice long contract for me. And so I was in rehearsals in February and then was doing shows February through April. We just closed. But we were doing the show Beautiful, the Carole King musical. And if you know Carole King, she is an icon not only of female artistry in the music industry, but also just in the music industry in general, of what was going on in the pop and rock and roll world in the 60s and 70s and beyond. I mean, she's incredible.
Icon.
Yeah, she really is a forever icon. If you don't know her music, please go listen to it. Her album Tapestry was groundbreaking at the time, 1971. So I played Carole King in this musical, which was amazing, and it was an opportunity that I was very, very excited about. Now, we had this crazy thing happen on Friday. So we closed our show Saturday. Closing show is when it ends. Mm-hmm. We had 2 shows on Saturday. Sofia was coming to the final show, the closing show, on Saturday evening with her parents-in-law. And Friday afternoon, myself, my boyfriend Matt, and a few of the cast members went to the beach. Yep. And down here in Fort Myers, some of you may know, last year a hurricane devastated this area, and so the beach has been it's been functioning recently, but they still tell you to be careful when you're in the water, especially near where the pier used to be, because there's still concrete pillars and it's still, the vestiges of the pier are still there, but they tell you to be careful. Well, a few of the guys were throwing around the football, including my boyfriend, and he was like further out, but some of the younger guys were running around in between the pillars, and one of the guys sliced up his foot so badly. I mean, it was bad. And of course, I'm sure there are some people that may be a little squeamish, so I won't go into the description. I have first aid training, so I was actually the one treating the wound on the beach. He had to go to urgent care, get it situated. Long story short, they had to staple him up. They had to staple his foot, and they said, you cannot be putting any pressure on your foot. Yeah. So this is our lead. This is the guy who was playing opposite me as my love interest. Mm-hmm. And so thankfully this theater has understudies. So within 2 hours of the show Friday night, his understudy was told, hey, you're going on tonight. So he had to, get himself situated. He went on and he did a great job. And of course, the guy who played Jerry Goffin, this co-star of mine, the character's name is Jerry Goffin. That was really upsetting and really hard to have to be out of your own show for the last 3 shows. Yeah. But his understudy did a fantastic job. Well, his understudy from the jump in his contract had written in that he would be gone during the final day of shows because he was in his best friend's wedding in Central Florida. So people are freaking out. They're like, well, we have the understudy for Friday night, but we don't have anyone for closing. Well, my boyfriend, who is also a professional actor and had just closed Jersey Boys in Savannah literally the Sunday before and had just come down to vacation and see me and see the show, he was like, this might be crazy, but what if I stepped in?
I'll do it.
He's like, I'll do it. And I was like, okay. So I suggested that, and then within an hour of us suggesting that, we got the call and they said, hey, you're going to learn the show tonight, you're going to be backstage, and then you're going to go in as the emergency replacement tomorrow for this character. Now, thankfully, Matt has been auditioning for this show
She's familiar.
Yeah.
A little familiar.
Yeah, pretty familiar. So, but still, he had so much to learn. He learned the show in 8 hours.
That's crazy.
It was insane.
How do you do
that? And he nailed it. I mean, you saw it. You saw the show.
Yes, it was crazy.
So great. He did such an incredible job. And for me, it was this crazy kind of personal and professional dream that I didn't even know that. I mean, of course, I love working with my boyfriend. He's so talented, and we haven't been able to play opposite each other in years. I mean, and even then, when we did it, it wasn't really a full show like this is.
Right.
At, a highly sought after theater, so it was like crazy that so many things had to happen for the two of us to be on stage playing co-stars, but it was such an amazing thing. And these stories, I mean, theater is wild and there's always lots of drama. Yes. But I'm sure in every field of work there are some level
anywhere you work
crazy
with people.
stories. Anywhere you work with people, humans are humans. But this story was insane. I mean, in my career as a performer, in Matt's career as a performer, we've never experienced anything like this before. And so not only professionally was it a wild story, but also personally to get to share that together and for him to get to close the show and basically save the theater. I mean, he saved the show.
Yeah.
Because they would have either had to cancel or
the closing night.
They would, I don't know what they would have done, and they would have lost a lot of revenue because this theater brings in a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a big theater.
Yeah, it's a big theater, and they sell out. They were sold out for both shows, and it's a dinner theater, so they're also providing food, and so the tickets are a little more expensive. Anyway, it was insane. But that is something that happened in my life recently, and just kind of ended. So now I'm on to other projects and other things.
Well, and what's funny from the viewer perspective, because obviously nobody that came to the show that night, if they hadn't seen another show, or even if they had seen another show, they probably thought it was planned to have Matt as.
Right.
And I'm both of their friend, in case you guys didn't know that, Brats. I know Matt, and so we went to the show on Saturday night, and Natalie's like, "Oh, I don't know if I have time to come out. I'm going to come out, after say hi. I'm writing calling cards," and I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "She's busy," and because Mike's parents were like, "Well, we see her." I was like, "We'll see her after," and they're like, "Okay." And then they're doing the intros, and they're like, "Natalie, Matt, say hi," to Sofia and Mark and Linda, and I was like, Wow, Natalie, Matt. And Mike's dad, because he was in theater, was like, "Matt's in the show?" And I was like, no, he's not in the show. He just got back. And he's like, "Okay." And then I somehow missed that they said, "And the role of will be played by Matt Michael." I was like zoning out or something. So then he's like, "Matt's in the show." And I was like, "No, I already told you he's not." So then the show starts, and I like totally missed that. So he comes out, and I'm like,
Matt walks out, and she's like, "Wait,
I'm like,
Matt."
"Wait, guys, that's Matt." And they were like, "Yeah." That's what we were saying.
Yeah.
So I was like so
and we
surprised.
wanted you to be surprised. We were like, because I was like, maybe we should tell her. And our mutual friend Hannah, who we've had on as a guest,
"Don't do it."
She was like, "Don't do it. Surprise her. Just let her be surprised." And I'm so glad that it worked because that was so funny.
It was the best.
And then you guys
surprise.
got to be there for a little bit of the closing party, and it was just really crazy.
Really cool.
And I'm still kind of in this did this really happen zone?
Yeah, and also from the viewer's perspective, seeing you two interact, it was so funny because I was giggling every 5 seconds because it's you guys.
Yeah.
You're fighting, and then you're
God.
"Hey," I'm like, "This is so funny."
Well, and it's so great because he and I, obviously we'd like to think we have good chemistry, and Hannah was
great.
Sitting with some people that were like, "Oh my gosh, they have such great chemistry," and she was like, "Guess what? They're dating." I'm like, it's good to know that people think that, but we have such trust with each other on stage, and so I knew that even if he fumbled on some lines or if he needed, then I was there to help him, and we can ground each other on stage. If something was going wrong, we just looked at each other, because Jerry is never on stage without Carol.
Yeah.
That it's Carol's show. It's all about Carol, and so he is a function of the story only in how he affected her life, right? So he's never on stage without her. So I was like, "Baby, I got you." Anything, and he never needed me. He never needed you. But I imagine that just having you up on stage helped him a lot, right?
Just with feeling comfortable.
Yes.
There wasn't a random female lead that he didn't know that was going to be "Oh, you messed up," or anything like that.
He knew that he could trust that if he messed up that I wasn't.
We were going to save him a little bit if there was an awkward pause or anything like that. Also, the thing I think that was just so worked out so perfectly was the fact that you guys are songwriters in this story. And so, like, he's got, you know, and again, there were, he never, like, looked at it while he was speaking. But, you know, he could carry the lines out on his, like, songbook notebook.
He did look at, I mean, he had cheat sheets that he did reference, but he's such a good actor that he wasn't, like,
you had no idea. You had no idea. But it looked like he was looking through the song lyrics while you were talking to him. And he was like,
Yes. And I was like, of all the shows, this is perfect because, Jerry Goffin and Carole King, little historical fact, were co-writers together. And, you know, they were married, they had a family, but they were also co-writers. She was a composer and he was a lyricist. And so consistently, they have music in their hands. Yeah. So, he was able to write down some cheat sheets. Anyway, that story is one of the things that's like, oh, this will always be an epic story that we will get to tell and that we will have amazing memories of. And
I'm so glad out of all I saw opening night and I saw closing night, and out of all the nights that could have happened and Matt could have had to be there, like, I was there. Yeah. And I was going, and I brought my husband's parents, so it was just like a great kind of close.
Like, knowing that you guys were out there was also just so comforting and exciting to be like, we have people out there.
You know, we know.
Yes, exactly. Great. So Matt and I both are going to be, you know, doing other projects and other shows. I'm going to be staying down here in Fort Myers to reprise a show that I did last year. I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change. It's a very, very funny show. I mean, the title itself is like always gets a little laugh out of people, but this theater that I work for very often, that I'm sure you guys have heard us talk about, Player Circle Theater, they're doing this show again with the same cast. We did it last year at their old location. They now have a brand new location that they're at, and which is nice because it's 7 minutes from my house. And the old location was 40 minutes from my house. So I love driving to shows when I'm in this theater. But the show was so popular, people loved it so much that they wanted to do it again in this new space. And so I'll be doing that, as well as, this is really cool. So a theater that I worked for recently called Florida Repertory Theater, which is a theater in downtown Fort Myers. They do this thing called a Play Lab Festival. Ooh. And they invite playwrights to come and participate with new plays that they've written. And they bring in professional actors, professional directors, and they do these staged readings.
That's really fun.
And so it's like a week of staged readings. I think they have either 5 to 7 plays that they do, and I will be participating in that.
Oh, that's so cool.
So that's at the beginning of May. So I'm going to be doing a professional staged reading of this new work. Oh, nice. And getting to work with some other actors in the area, and also this director that I'm really excited to work with. His name is Jason. So those are like professionally some of the projects that I'm going to be working on over the next few months down here in Fort Myers, and then we shall see. But exciting. Traveling wise, I haven't been able to travel very much just because I've been in this 10-week long show, although I did take a trip to Savannah to see Matt in his show of Jersey Boys. And then coming up, I will be taking this epic trip. I'm so excited to Nashville, which we've talked a lot about. Nashville being an amazing place. My cousin Crystal lives in Nashville, and she has invited all of the girl cousins in my family.
Nashville Girls Trip?
Nashville Girls Trip. And a few of the cousins can't join because my sister, for example, lives in Europe, and one of her sisters lives in Europe as well. So it's all the like Canadian, and that side of my family is Canadian, so it's like my Canadian cousins that I haven't seen in literal years.
Wow.
Are flying down. Yes, it's a reunion. It's basically like girls trip reunion. My sister-in-law's going to be there.
Girls trip reunion.
And that's Crystal's got this whole weekend planned. It's going to be a long weekend. She's like got this itinerary for us. So I'm super excited about that, and hopefully we'll get to share that on an episode.
Yes.
And then we're doing a family trip to Destin, Florida, which we still need to
we have
share.
Not done an episode on Destin.
A Destin episode.
But you're a regular Destin traveler.
I have family down there.
Yeah, and we did a destination Thanksgiving there once, so we've got to do that episode.
Yeah.
A destination
Thanksgiving.
Oh, clever.
But yeah, and during that trip, the purpose of that trip really is because my sister and her family that live in Brussels will be in the States for a month.
Oh, nice.
And in fact, my nephew Leo has a birthday very soon. His birthday is in April. He's going to be turning 1.
Oh, baby.
And so that'll be fun to have my niece and my nephew here. My parents are actually in Brussels right now for the
Oh, they
whole month
are?
of April.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fun.
So they're there,
Oh,
and
beautiful.
and I think that's
Again, I have to say, if you guys haven't listened to our Brussels, Bruges, all of the
Ghent,
Belgium
yeah, we did a Belgium series.
Yeah, it's fabulous. So go check that out if you're planning to head over there.
Yeah.
Exotic, I don't know, what would you call it? Exotic. European maybe is a better word. Of vacation.
Yeah,
To me,
yeah.
it's exotic. They're
I mean,
foreign
I guess
languages.
anything is exotic. If
I know.
it's
Whenever
not,
I
like,
think
what
of
you're
exotic,
used to.
I just think of like Kim Kardashian. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
exotic,
or beaches,
beautiful tan, people,
Yes,
jungle, like
exactly.
esque. And I'm like, oh, I guess exotic is just different.
Different, yeah, something different. But we do associate it with like tropical.
Yeah,
So,
we do.
but yeah, so that's kind of my update.
Yeah.
Sophia, what have you been up to?
exciting
What do you have
things.
going on?
Oh well, you have some exciting things going on. So do I. A little recap. I have been traveling a lot.
You
And-
have been traveling a lot.
Yeah, and just
which
to
is amazing.
Yeah, it's been really fun. Just to point out to you guys, we travel a lot. We do travel brats, and then we also work remote a lot, unless Natalie has a show. And I did want to shout this out because we do have some authors that listen to this podcast, or authors that are thinking of doing audiobook production for their books. And Natalie and I both do audio production for books. We do the whole narration and then the producing. So if you guys are interested in that and you want an audio or you want to learn more about it, just go ahead and send us an email at thetravelbrats@gmail.com. But how to shout that out, because I get a lot of people wondering, hey guys, is it just Travel Brats? Do you do anything else? Do you work in production?
like,
how do you travel? You were staying in Colorado for 3 weeks, blah, blah. How do you do that? So anyway,
We take our studios with us when we travel. Which
Yes.
is wonderful.
yes,
That we
and
can
our setups
narrate.
are, we pick them up and we move them. They're pretty
Yeah.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been really fun for us, and it's allowed us the flexibility to kind of go ham with Travel Brats and travel and stuff. So, let's see. The last couple months have been pretty crazy. I went to Tampa for a bachelorette party for one of my best friends' future wives, and it was fabulous. It was really fun. I'd never done Tampa in a bachelorette party way. So that was really fun because I hadn't been to that many bars, and then we did this really fun brewery tour and blah blah blah. We are going to do an episode on that because it was
Amazing.
so much fun. It was like I just didn't think about Tampa, and then every single thing we did was so much fun. And then I came down to Fort Myers, visited family down here. My husband's parents still live here, and then I went over to Fort Lauderdale to the Hard Rock Hotel to surprise the groom, because the groom, I'm actually go way back with him. We were best friends since not high school, college. And so I've become good friends with his wife now, and I also am good friends with him. So it was really fun to just
You
surprise
got to
him for a
do
day.
the bachelor and the bachelorette party.
Yes, it was so. I know I got the best
Best
the best
of
of
worlds.
both worlds.
Yeah.
And what's also a cool thing to shout out is, if you guys don't know, because we've talked about this a bit, but Natalie and I do plan trips. So if you're doing bachelorette party, bachelor party, you need help, you don't know a city that you really would want to go to for your party, just reach out to us. Again, just shoot us an email and we can help you guys plan that. And then I actually just got back like 2.5 weeks ago from a ski trip in Colorado. I went and just bummed it out there for like 3 weeks, worked and just kind of skied. And that was in Copper Mountain.
Just kind of skied.
Just kind of skied, Just like went out a couple of days and was like, okay, I'm done. Good 2 hours, 2 to 5 hours, just a little bit of skiing.
Oh my gosh.
And I also got to ski some other mountains, which was really cool. I skied on this particular trip. I got to ski Keystone. I got to ski A Basin, obviously Copper, because that's where we stay.
Yeah.
And then I actually finally got to ski Snowmass at Aspen, which I was like very excited about.
How was it?
It was great. It was epic. The snow when I went out there, the snow was great.
It was like such a good time of year to go.
It was such a good time of year. The weather wasn't that cold. It fluctuated a lot day to day, but like most of the days, out of all the days I skied, they were like pretty beautiful weather. It would like
great.
powder snow all night long. Then you'd have the sun and it'd be cold, but it wouldn't be like 5 degrees. It'd be like 15 to 20, 25.
Right.
Some days it even got up to like 30. It was, oh my gosh, beautiful. And then the inside joke, because I don't know if I've talked about this on Travel Brats before, the joke with Aspen was, I really wanted to ski Aspen, and my brother had come on Travel Brats and done an Aspen episode. When he originally went the first time, I was like, yo, get me an Aspen sweatshirt, I'll sell you. And he's like, no, you poser.
You've never been.
Yeah, he's like, you can't have an Aspen sweatshirt unless you ski Aspen. And I was like, but what if I never ski Aspen? And he's like, well, then you don't get an Aspen sweatshirt. So literally they picked me up on Friday when I flew in. And like, this is how crazy the Colorado weather is, by the way, just to give you put it in perspective. I flew into Denver on like March 1st, and my brother picked me up. We went to Arvada and grabbed a beer, and it's like 75 degrees outside. I'm wearing like a long flowy beach pants and like one of those short sleeve turtlenecks.
Yeah.
You know, it's really thin. And like we're sitting there, we're tanning, we're sitting outside having a beer, and then it's like you proceed to go into the mountains.
Yeah,
and yes, it's like 10 degrees and it's dumping snow. Some mountains got like 5-10 feet of snow. Like when there were two storms that were there, one on the Front Range and one more up in the mountains when I was there. And when that happens, some mountains just have to completely close for like a day or two.
So
because they have to manage the snow. Like they can't let you ski in that. There's avalanche warnings everywhere. So it was interesting. Wow. But that's the weather. Then it got really cold, and then when we were on our way up there, we were at Dillon Dam Brewery. If you guys are on your way up to the mountains, Dillon Dam is around like Frisco, Copper, on the way to Vail too. It's awesome. So if you guys want a good like place to eat, Dillon Dam Brewery is great. We were all there and we're talking, and he's like, "Hey, what do you want to ski tomorrow?" And I was like, "Oh, Aspen," and I was joking, and they're all like, "Should we do it? Like, should we ski Aspen?" And I was like, "Wait, are we serious? Like, are we planning this?" And they were like, "Yeah, let's do it. Like, we want to ski Aspen." And then I was like, wait, there's no new snow. Like the first day I got out there was no snow. And I was like, let's just wait because there's no point in skiing Aspen, in my opinion. I'm paying for the day pass. Yeah, if there's no fresh snow. And so we actually ended up skiing it the following weekend. They were like, all right, we'll come back up because it's supposed to snow a lot this week and then it'll be great snow. It was great snow. Also, just to note, guys, if you're like, oh, I want to go up and I want to ski Aspen, Keystone, like if I want to ski all these mountains, you need to look at Vail and Epic. And I got Vail and Epic. You need to look at Icon and Epic passes because I had to pay basically for like all these other mountains because I had a Copper season pass and I wasn't expecting to ski other mountains. So this year I ended up getting the Icon pass. We do have a Travel Brats episode from, maybe like 1.5, 2 years ago where we talk about the different passes.
Okay.
But it's constantly changing. So you need to go look up Icon and Epic and like say, example, 2 big mountains that everybody wants to ski are on Epic, Vail and Breckenridge. And then you have like Aspen, Copper, all these other mountains on Icon. So I ended up getting Icon, but that's just something to take note of. It's like if you're gonna ski more than like 10 days, you might as well get one of those passes. Unless there's only one mountain you're gonna be on.
You're excited about.
Then you get the season pass for that mountain. So anyway, Colorado was excellent. I loved it. And then I did another Florida trip. Came down to Florida and went to Paul and Adrian's wedding. And it was really fun. Got to see Natalie's show.
Busy week.
Yeah, it was
with the show and with the wedding busy. And like everything. Yeah, that's been so
busy.
Crazy.
It's been busy, but it was fun to come down a little early and like just be there in case they needed any help.
Yes,
And then, well, I guess that's all I've done so far. But then me, myself, and Guy, we.
You have a very exciting trip planned, and I'm really excited.
I'm so excited.
To be there
yes,
you.
Then I know. Then I planned this trip. It was like a last minute whim thing, but I had a friend who had a block for the week in NOLA with a timeshare. Because if you don't get those hotels early, there's no way. Yeah, for Jazz Fest. And I'm going to Jazz Fest, guys. I'm like talking like you guys know what's in my head. I'm like, so then I'm
tell the people.
Yes, so we're going to Jazz Fest. We got a day ticket. We're gonna go see Chris Stapleton because he's on Saturday at Jazz Fest. Yay.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's gonna be so fun. I'm so excited. And then I'm going with my friend Shelby, and she's never been to NOLA. So we are going to travel Brat it up.
That's great.
Yes. And we will obviously have to do an episode because honestly, I went to NOLA too on my honeymoon with Mike, and that was also a really fun time, and we haven't done an episode on that. I know we have original, like it's probably like number 4. The 4th episode that Travel Brats ever did was on NOLA, and so it's super old. So I have done all these other things there, and I want to give feedback on them. So anyway, we're going to do a NOLA episode based on Jazz Fest and then all the other fun things there are to do. And then I also am going to come down to Sarasota again for another wedding, because I got another really good friend from college getting married in the Sarasota area, this beautiful on the water spot. So again, probably we'll do Sarasota, because I don't think we've actually ever done a Sarasota episode.
No.
So we will shout that out. We've done St. Pete,
auditioned for a theater in Sarasota, so I might be possibly working in Sarasota. We'll see.
Just text me. And then Hangout Fest. You guys know it. We love it. So it's coming up. Yep. It's coming up in May. And I'm so excited because this is going to be so funny. I've been to Hangout Fest 3 times. And this year I'm going with one of my best friends, her boyfriend, but also I'm taking my little sister who has never been to a music festival.
Ooh.
Yeah, Kaylee. So, and you guys have heard
Music
Kaylee.
Festival.
Yep, they know Kaylee.
That's
If you guys listen to our Italy series, she's awesome, and she's done Italy and Hawaii with us on Travel Brats. So I'm taking her and gonna introduce her to the most fun, relaxed, like beach music festival. It's honestly my favorite. So
is she 18 now? Or is
she will be 18 in August. She's 17.
Oh, nice.
But if you're under the age of 18, you just have to have a legal guardian.
There you go.
So someone over the age of 21, which I apparently am. I'm a very responsible adult, so you know. And so yeah, that'll be really fun. And then the last thing I'll shout out is we actually are going to go to Chicago in June. My grandpa lives up there.
Oh,
yeah, we've done episodes with him on Chicago, but there's a wedding happening in a cool venue in Chicago. So I'm going to go there. It's going to be kind of like also a family reunion, a birthday for like, a bunch of our family members have birthdays like the 26th, the 27th, the 28th, the 29th of May.
Or May.
Well, it's May, but what we're going to do is have like a late celebration for everybody. And, you know, so it's going to my grandma, my husband, you know, my brother-in-law, a lot of people. So it's like, we're just going to celebrate them all and have a good time. So that's the plan. And yeah, it's just been a busy spring. And then the rest of the summer, I have no plans, which made me really nice because... you know, we've traveled so much, my eyes like constantly twitching. I don't know.
Right.
I'm tired.
Yeah, sometimes, well, and I'm sure you guys are you're our travel brats, you know. Like, traveling is the most amazing thing ever. Yeah. But also, we need rest, we need time off, and when we have that, the breaks between travel.
Yeah, you need that break.
And the thing is, the gift that is traveling, I mean, we realize that, like, what we get to do by being able to travel is so special because, you know, a lot of people don't get to travel, and so their traveling times are their resting times. And you know, it's like for me, traveling can sometimes be really restful and sometimes be not stressful, but like you're doing a lot, right? And I think we all know those trips where you do a lot, and then we all know those trips where it's like I literally just want to sit on a beach every day for 5 days and not do anything, right? And I think you have to have that mixture of things, and sometimes you do a staycation, sometimes you know, whatever. And so it's like, for us, we're constantly planning our travels.
Yes.
Not only for ourselves, but to share with you guys. But often we are doing as much as possible when we are traveling. Right. So it's nice when you do have that time to just say, oh, I'm going to be at home for a little bit.
It's like home's our chill vacation and travel's like our work vacation. Yeah. But we're always on vacation. We've built a life where we're always on vacation,
well, and isn't that, I mean, that's like, it's kind of, a way of being.
It is.
If you can think of how can I, you know, work and play, work diligently, and then earn my play, and then play well, and earn my rest, and kind of having that balanced way of being.
Yes, it's been, and it also is wonderful because it's like when you love what you're working on and you're doing, it is really, you don't have to label it as a vacation, but it is enjoyable. Like you're excited about every day. Not like, oh, I have to get up and go to work. It's like, oh, today I get to act and sing, and then I get to come here and I get to edit this episode that I'm so excited to share about Aspen.
you and I do, and I'm sure you guys can guess this from the way that we talk about our lives. I mean, we do keep ourselves pretty busy. Yeah. So we're constantly on, which we love. I think that's a personality thing. You and I both share that personality trait. And I think people that travel a lot often do feel that kind of energy of like movement, wanting to
like stay
constantly be
active.
doing things. And so finding moments of peace is healthy for people like us.
It is, like just sitting down. And also, it's a good point where sometimes you probably want to mix in some of those travel trips where it is just like a relaxing beach vacation.
Oh yeah, especially for our travel brats who are parents. I am sure, you know, neither of us are parents. And so we don't have family that is keeping us in certain I don't want to say, like, my sister is a parent of 2 children and they travel all the time, and they don't I don't want to say that children ever are a boxing in kind of thing, but of course when you have kids your life changes, and you have to really be flexible with how you travel and how you do vacation, how you do trips. And my sister is such a wonderful example to me of, wow, when I hopefully have a family of my own, I don't want to stop doing what I do and what I love to do, and being able to travel and instill that joy into your children.
No, I love that. And I think it's funny because sometimes you don't even realize it the way you are with the travel, because I think I realized I first had a problem when, just kidding. But really, like, on our honeymoon, we had gone to Mexico, and because my husband never been there, I like all of a sudden went into travel rat mode, and I was like, we gotta do this and this, and you haven't seen the ruins, and then like we were so tired when we got back from Mexico that it was like so not a honeymoon, but I was like so excited because the guy had never been in Mexico, and I was like, this is my country.
And I was gonna say,
like,
that's your people.
Like my people. Like we gotta go do this, we gotta eat this, we gotta see this, we gotta go to, so I gotta practice my Spanish. So I was so excited. When we went the next time, which was literally the following year for our anniversary, we literally just
did nothing.
Yeah, went to a fancier hotel, not one that we were just going to sleep in and then we were going to be out all day.
Right.
Went to a nicer hotel. We just soaked up the hotel, ate all the food there, chilled on the beach, the nice pool, did the activities there, and it was like amazing.
Mike's like, oh, this is what a vacation is.
He literally was like, promise you won't put things on the calendar.
He knows he married a travel brat.
I know.
I mean, come on.
Literally, we get there and I'm like, ooh, they have water spinning in the morning. He's like, that does not sound fun. I'm like, doesn't it sound fun? And he's like, can I watch you do it? Can I sit there and read a book with my son on and a towel on my white legs and just watch you spin in the water and be like, hey, take a video of me for travel rats, you know?
Oh my gosh.
And so we made it work. I got to do a few little fun things like that, but really we just did not leave the hotel and it was magical. So anyway, yes, find that mix, you guys. And then on that note, we just want to kind of close with some of our favorite episodes and then some of our upcoming episodes.
Yeah.
Because can you believe it's literally already like the end of the fourth quarter of this year? I mean, first quarter.
I was like,
Natalie's like,
yeah.
wait, it's December? Merry Christmas, you guys!
Christmas, everyone.
I had no idea.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, I mean, we are about to, leave spring and go into summer shortly here, so it's kind of that another transitional time, and which is of course why we wanted to kind of update you guys on what we've been up to, and of course we want to hear not only what you guys have been up to, what kind of traveling you guys have been doing, but what kind of traveling you're going to be doing, and what kind of thoughts and questions you might have for us. But yeah, so what were some of your favorite episodes?
Oh man, yeah, we've been working hard, huh? We've had some fun episodes. I will have to say, again, I did mention this in the beginning of the episode, but I love the Belgium series. Ghent is one of my favorites.
Yeah, we started that last year, and then we did a few, maybe just one more.
I think we just finished with, we hadn't done Ghent, so we finished with Ghent, but Ghent was like chef's kiss. It was great. And then I do have to say, because I enjoyed this episode so much, because I enjoyed the trip so much, Austin, the bachelorette party in Austin, that was
a great episode.
Epic, great. And then I think that I honestly really enjoyed two more, and they're quite different. One that we recently came out with, Peanut Festival, and
which was just like a random surprise of a cool random thing.
Yeah, but it was so much fun. Like going back through the videos to do the social with it and just like remembering the fun time we had, I was like, this was actually so much fun. So that would have been a fun, unique one, because also Dothan, you guys know, is our new home for a few years. So yes, I loved that. And then I would have to say one of my favorites, and we've had a lot of guests this year, is my favorite guest probably is Jamie. Jamie Beebe with Strictly Stalking and The Last Trip. She's a podcaster friend. She lives out in LA. And she's hilarious. She's a unique person. She's really cool to talk to and really fun.
Her podcast and what she had to offer to our podcast really was so, I mean, you said unique and very interesting and just really fascinating all around. This true crime meets travel podcast.
For real.
And yet how connected those are. Like, I mean,
right. Well,
I loved her perspective on what it means to solo travel specifically and be mindful of your life and what's around you.
I think we all need that reality check sometimes. And I think what was so fun was brainstorming, like, okay, what can we do? Like, what kind of place can we do where, we don't scare the travel brats away from going there. But it has so much intrigue that no one's ever going to stop going here on vacation, to
Miami
party, for the beaches.
Like, you had it so right by choosing Miami.
Right?
Like,
and
that
so
was perfect.
We did play around because she's like, you guys are from Florida. You want to do Pensacola, you want to do Tampa, and I just was like, I feel like there's no better place for both of our genre podcasts than Miami. So yeah. So if you guys haven't listened to that, it's a killer episode.
Ooh.
Killer. Go listen to it. It's good. And then I will have to say that I just have loved like the way you guys have given us good feedback, and I just wanted to shout this out because we've gotten such a high listening volume in just these first months of 2024. So guys, your feedback's helped us great. We love that you're subscribing, that you're sharing the podcast with friends, that you're liking our stuff on socials, and that you just keep giving us feedback, because we want to give you guys fun episodes to listen to, but also great travel advice. So again, just thank you guys for listening, because obviously we don't have a fun podcast without our listeners.
Oh yeah.
And we don't have a purpose here on Travel Brats without our
Right. I
listeners.
mean, we enjoy talking to each other because we're friends, but obviously this is for you guys, and
obviously putting the light and the camera on is for you guys. You know, we talk about travel if we weren't doing the podcast, but
exactly. And we have a few upcoming episodes that I think you guys are really gonna like. We've been talking about this one for a little while, but my boyfriend and I love Universal, and so we wanted to give you guys another episode on that. I think we did one last year.
Yeah, never enough
on Universal. Soph and I both love Universal so much. And then tell us about your episodes with...
Yes, Rakima Glim. She is a cruise line consultant, travel planner. But I think the craziest thing about her, she's really a unique person. She's literally traveled to over 120 or something countries. And her son too. You talk about flexibility with your kids. She's taken her son on 100 of these trips as he grew up, and homeschooled him.
Amazing.
And worked her career and traveled all over the world. They lived in places. So yeah, she's very interesting, and it'll be really neat. I ask her all about her life and how she stays well, again, with all this travel and just logistics, and then also about the cruises. And then I also ask her, about the different places she's traveled. What was good, what was not good, times of year, food, actual events, and things to see, 7 wonders, blah, 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 all that. So I think that you guys will love that, and you'll just really have a good time listening to her. She's a fascinating person. She's very articulate. And so that's a great one. And then we also have a couple other things coming up that we're really excited about, and we're bringing some old kind of trends back, which I'm really pumped about. Obviously, we used to love doing trivia, and Natalie and I did do one trivia episode, and I got great listens. So we're gonna bring the road trip, flight, travel, whatever you want to call it, fun trivia back in, so that you guys can listen and have a good time.
An
with
interactive
us.
episode, if you will.
Yes, interactive. Play trivia with us.
Yes.
And then also we used to get a ton of listens on the I'm laughing so hard because they used to be so goofy, but they're so much fun, and they're a good break for you guys from our long, hefty, here's the spot and here's the places and everything, itineraries for travel, is our road trip song trivia.
Yeah.
Where we're gonna do that as well. And you guys are gonna, we've turned it kind of into trivia, where it's a song list that we'll post and we'll create a iTunes playlist out of. But also, you're gonna play along with us and kind of guess the songs to make it a fun thing to do in the car as well.
Yeah. So yeah, lots to look forward to, and we're excited to share more with you guys. Thank you for always coming along this ride with us. Happy spring, happy April, happy May. We're just getting into these beautiful months of the year. If you guys are living in areas that have 4 full seasons, I'm sure you guys are all excited about the warmer.
And if you're not, that's for you. Just kidding. Just kidding, guys. Also, lastly, I do want to shout out that we started a new series, and we want your feedback on it. It's the blog reads. Natalie has been doing blog reads. She started with her home grow-up town of Nashville. Asheville, of Asheville. And then also, guys, it's kind of crazy, but we're coming up here on our 200th episode celebration. That'll be coming up. So anyway, just again, like Natalie said, we can't thank you guys anymore. We are so excited for the rest of this year. And first quarter is going to end, but we still got a lot of fun stuff to share with you before the end of the year. So,
bye for now.
Bye for now, Travel Brats.